Hello, Kanika, how are you?
Hello, I am good. How are you?
Good, good. Um, are we gonna get 2 hours or 1 hour?
No, we'll have today 1 hour only.
Okay,
Someday, when the topics are smaller, we'll go with the 3 hour class to balance it. Right? The practical ones are easy to take it at a long strength, but the theoretical ones you can have, it's good to have a small classes. Okay. So, you have any doubt regarding the previous sessions?
no, for now. Is everything is clear? Everything is clear.
So, we were dealing with EC2 instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have seen the purchasing options also, right? We have completed
Yes,
the purchasing options that we will require when we will purchase any of the EC2 instance, right? So
got it.
we will see how we can access EC2. Means what features we can select while we are accessing the EC2 instance, right? So to access instances, you need a key and a key pair name. Okay. So what happens? We have already seen that we always create a VPC group, right? In that we create a security key, right? And then we download that key in the PPK format, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are very much similar. So to access the EC2 instance from the outside world, say from the Windows server, Linux server, or any kind of outside world server. Okay, if you want to access and get the information, get inside the EC2, you need a key and a key pair name. This is clear.
Yep.
Another thing, you can download the private key only once. So as soon as you create, after that they will show you the end page for reviewing, right? At that time, they ask you that please download your, either create a new key or the you have existing key or anything. If you are creating a new key, you have to download that key inside your system, and you can do this process only once. You can't download the similar key again and again. But while you are creating, at that time only you have to download it. Clear?
Yeah.
The public key is saved by AWS to match it to the key pair name and private key when you try to log in to the EC2 instance. I hope you are creating the notes of daily so that they will be helpful for you for when you revise everything. Okay. See, before
Uh-huh.
the class, always revise all the notes we have just created. Okay.
Got it.
Reading them once will not help you in any of the sense. You have to read them multiple times. Then only you will be able to grasp the concepts. Okay. So
Correct.
take the lectures, follow these rules. Okay. Take lecture with the lecture only, or afterwards if you want, create your own notes and then revise them. Okay. And see if anything, any concept is missing from your head. Try to either ask me, I'll help you with the concept, or I'll help you with the revision part. Okay. So in this way,
Correct.
by class, you will be able to grasp everything. Okay. Now there are two types of keys that AWS provide. One is public key and another one is private key. Okay. What we do in public key, this public key is with AWS people, and this private key is given to the user. Okay. So whenever anybody wants to access the EC2 account, what they will do, they require the primary key so that they can log in. And this primary key, AWS people will check with the public key. Okay. If they match, they both matches, then you are allowed to access the EC2 instance, otherwise not. Getting it?
Yes.
Without key pair, you cannot access instances via RDP or SSH for Linux. Okay. If you want to access the Linux or the Windows servers, for Windows we use RDP and for Linux we use SSH. So at that time you require the key pair. We have seen one practical, I think so, regarding this when we were connecting our Lambda function or something with the with Windows server and Linux server we have created. Okay. We have seen this, how we can apply the key pair and access our EC2 instance with the any operating system. Both we have seen, Windows as well as Linux. Practical we have seen, right? Then there is 220 EC2 instances. Soft limit. Per account. You can submit a request to AWS people to increase it. Okay. So this is very much clear that if you only have 20 instance, EC2 instance, you can create. But if you want to increase, like you want to make more number of EC2 instance, you can directly ask AWS to increase this. They will increase the capacity for you. This part is clear?
Yes.
Now comes EC2 status check. Okay. By default, AWS EC2 service performs automated status check in every 1 minute. So status check means that is your EC2 instance running. Okay, 3 states of EC2 instance you will see. One is terminated, one is stopped, and one is active. Okay, so what AWS people will do, they will continuously in every 1 minute they will see in which state your AWS EC2 is. Okay, so in every 1 minute they will check the status of your EC2, and this is very much automated. Like you don't want to have to do anything, they will automatically do it. This is done on every running EC2 instances to identify any hardware or software issue. Okay, so why it is performed? To check any hardware or software issue is there or not. Okay, simple, this is a routine checkup they do. Then they cannot be configured, delete, or disable it. Now you say that you can ask a question here, that if AWS has the right to check the status of my EC2 instance, okay, means they have the power to check the status of your EC2 instance. So can they are able to delete, disable, or configure it? So they cannot do it. They can just check the status, and if there is any problem, then they will send you by a notification that your EC2 instance is having this problem. Either resolve it, or you can ask AWS to resolve it.
Got it.
EC2 services can send it. Just give me a second. Okay, so what we can do, So it can send its metric data to AWS CloudWatch every 5 minutes, which is enabled by default. So what happens? What EC2 service can send that metric data, means whatever you are doing with the EC2, okay, that is known as the metric data. Okay, like say you have created the EC2 instance at 12 p.m. So this will be recorded inside the metric data. Then you have attached a EBS file with it at 2 p.m. This will be recorded. Like this, every process you do inside the EC2 data will be recorded inside the metric data, and this metric data you can send to CloudWatch in every 5 minutes. So all the data, all the processes you are doing with your EC2 gets recorded in the form of logs. Getting it?
Okay.
Enabled detailed monitoring is chargeable and sends metric in every 1 minute. Okay. Enable detailed monitoring means detailed monitoring of your EC2 instance is being done, and the data is sent for each and every 1 minute. Your data is being sent and stored. Okay, of all the things you are doing in EC2. You are not charged for EC2 instance if they are stopped. However, attached EBS volume incur charges. So you see, as soon as you stop your EC2 instance, they will not charge you for specifically for EC2 instance. But what happens? What we when we do create EC2 instance, we have two storage. First storage is the instance storage that already is attached inside your EC2, which is known as instance storage. So as soon as you stop the EC2 instance, okay, this instance storage is also destroyed and stopped, right? So no charges for this, okay. But most of the time, what happens? We attach an EBS volume with it for more storage. You can understand it is as a external storage, okay. You will either you stop this EC2 instance also, but you will be charged for this. So always remember, when you are attaching an EC2 instance with the EBS, if you're stopping the work of EC2, you should go and stop the EBS storage also. Otherwise, they will charge you for that. Getting it?
Yep.
Now?
So
Yes.
wait, about the charges. Can I see the other page? Let me see. Taking notes. So for EBS volumes, I don't get charged, but for extra EBS, if I want to add, then I will be charged.
Actually, this EC2 is like, this is a computer. Inside your computer, you have already installed RAM. Okay. And this EBS is like a pen drive or external storage. So when you stop your this computer, okay, this is attached to it. If you stop this computer, this will stop and they will not charge for these resources, but they will charge for this resources if you have not stopped it or removed this. You means you have to stop this pen drive or EBS extra storage so that they don't charge you. They will consider that this person has bought this pen drive from me. Okay, so I have to charge. Okay, what happens? Say you have a laptop with you. Inside that you have some RAM. But on urgent basis for 2 to 3 days, you want a hard disk or a pen drive with you. Okay, so you bought a pen drive on rent for say 2 days, right? And they are charging $200 for 2 days, say. Now your work is over in 1 day. Your work is over in 1 day. You have finished your work, but you have not returned this pen drive to this person again. So your work is done in 1 day. You have closed your system. But here, the extra volume that you have bought, they will charge you till you return them. Right? So it is like this.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, okay, so I just get the instance, including the EBS volume. If I stop my instance, I have to stop my EBS volume that comes with the instance as well.
Yes.
They charge me for the EBS volume, not the instance. So
They
right?
charge you for your EC2 instance also. They will charge you for EBS also. But you have stopped this EC2 instance, so now they will not charge, but they will charge for EBS. Now they will see how the bill is made.
Yeah, that's a good question.
See, this is your EC2, and with that you have attached your EBS. Two different bills. Now, this is your EC2 instance. Okay, it is running, and you have attached a EBS to it. Now, say it takes $2 to run the EBS and it takes $1 to run EBS. So when your EC2 instance is running, they are charging for both. For next hour $2, for next time this. Okay, but as soon as you stop this EC2 instance, they will not charge anything, but still they will charge you for your EBS volume. So when you are stopping your EC2 account, you have to go and stop your EBS volume also.
Got it. Okay.
Now it's making sense to you?
Yes.
Great. So now question arises, when you stop an EBS storage you can say EBS packed storage, packed EC2 instance. One case is that instance perform a shutdown. In this case, we have to close our instance and remove the EBS. State changes from running to stopped. At that time, you have to remove your EBS. Another state, EBS volume remains attached to the instance okay, then any data cached in RAM or instance store volume is gone. So try to understand them. So what the question says, when you stop an EBS backed EC2 instance, EC2 backed EC2 backed EBS backed EC2 system means that with your EC2 instance, you have attached an EBS
Okay.
volume. Okay, means as a backup, you have created an EBC for if you want to store extra data. Now, when you have to stop it, what are the reasons when you, what can come that when you want to stop that? This running instance, complete running instance when you want to stop. So question is this. So instance perform a shutdown means at any stage your EC2 instance stopped running or shut down. At that time you have to stop, change their states from running to stop. If earlier your EC2 instance was running, but after some time you say it is showing the status as stopped, at that time you have to remove. EBS volume remains attached to the instance. You have to always remember, if this is getting shut down, that doesn't mean this is also getting shut down. You have to go and specifically cut it off. Any data cached in RAM or instance store volume is gone. So see what happens. I told you with this EC2, there is an instance storage. Instance storage you can understand as your computer RAM. So as soon as you turn off your PC, right? Your data that is inside your RAM also gets crashed, but the data that is in the pen drive that you have attached to the computer is not affected if you shut down the computer. It is like that. Getting it?
Got it.
CT storage and EBS is different.
The EBS is like the hard drive?
Yeah, hard drive, pen drive, or any external storage you can say. Or it can be another laptop also, another EC2 instance also. But specifically, when we talk about storage, we say we have taken EBS volume.
Instance store is just for bash job.
No. Instance store means inside your computer you have RAM, right? It's like that.
Oh, okay. So it's not
internal storage.
Okay.
Clear?
That is what this is the difference between instance store and EBS.
Yeah, we will see more different also.
Like for not critical job, not critical data. I'm not gonna use instance store for critical data because my instance gets shut down or terminated and I lost everything.
Whenever you require the data that you don't want to lose and to keep the backup, we always do like this, right? That we have a hard drive with us. In that hard drive, we store all the important data, right? For the backup purpose, it's like this only. So that if our system, our computer, our laptop gets shut down or get crashed, we can bring a new laptop and just connect this backup to that laptop and all the data get retrieved.
This is why we have EVS value.
Yes.
Okay.
Clear?
Yep.
See, try to connect it with the real world and you will be able to remember them like anything. Because the things that we use daily is the best way to understand. Then, instances. Retain its private IPv4 or any IPv6 address. Okay, means once your EC2 is shut down and you start it again. Okay, so they can easily connect again with their private IPv4 address or any IPv6 address. IP means the address of your EC2 instance. Instances retain releases. Private IPs are retained, and public IPs are released. So instances releases its public IP v4 address back to AWS pool. Now what happens? This is your private key, private network. So you can, whenever you want to connect, you can connect it. This is your private key, you can say, right? But this is your public. Means as soon as your EC2 instance get failed, what the people of AWS say, okay, give my public address to me, I will assign it to another person. Getting it? Where all the addresses are kept is known as AWS pool. In this, all the data is there. So once your EC2 instance is closed, they will send back that address or the network in the AWS pool so that somebody else can use it. So it happens, right? Say, try to understand. There is a shop, okay? Shop name was Venus, okay? Its IP address, which is public, okay, is the location name. The name of the location, say Ajmer, okay? And privately, what is the name? Private name was Venus only, okay? Now for some reason they want to close their shop, okay? So now they have opened the shop again somewhere else. Private name is with them because if they have buy that private name, but this public name will be again sent to the government, right? Government authorities, and they can assign any other shop at this public IP. Getting it? And here they will get a new public IP of a public IPv6 network. Trying to get it?
Yep.
Clear?
Yep.
Instances retain its elastic IP address. Elastic IP address means because it is elastic, compute cloud, right? So they have their particular addresses which are specifically assigned for this EC2 services, right? As soon as this EC2 instance closes and another EC2 instance generates, they will shift the elastic IP address to the new one which is created, right? So it can easily be retained. Now, another topic, that is EC2 terminates. So when you will see that EC2 is terminating, okay, in what conditions? When you terminate a running instance, the instance state changes as follows. Running to shut down and terminate it. Okay, these states you will see. Okay.
Mhm.
By default, you can say during the shutdown and terminated states, you do not incur changes. So what happens? This is very general terms, that when your EC2 is shutting down and is in terminated state, you cannot incur changes, means you cannot add any changes into the EC2 instance. By default, AWS root devices.
What do you mean by do not incur changes?
Incur changes means you can't do changes inside the EC2 instance. Like you want to do any change, you want to do any functions inside the EC2 instance, you want to run something, you can't do when it isn't shut, during either there is a shutdown phase or in termination. Only you can do it when it is in the running state.
Okay.
EBS root device volumes are deleted automatically when the EC2 instances are terminated. Okay. So if you have an instance that has EC2 instance that has EBS volume, so when it gets terminated, then automatically the EBS volume will also get terminated. because it is by default. If you do any changes, like there's an option where if your EC2 is getting terminated, you can still have the data of EBS. If you go by default, then automatically as soon as your EC2 instance is getting what terminated, your EBS volume also get terminated.
Got it.
Any additional non-boot or boot volume attached to the instances by default persists after the instance is terminated. Okay, so what they are trying to say, if you have any additional non-boot or boot services, boot volumes, okay, these are the special volumes that AWS provides. If these volumes are attached to your EC2 instance, then when once you have terminated your EC2 instance, still they have the data inside it. It will persist. Means it will not affect the boot volume data. If you are selecting EBS, it will get terminated, but boot volume data will always persist. Then comes, you can modify both behaviors by modifying the delete on termination attribute of any EBS volumes during instances launch or while running. Okay, so now there is an option which they provide, delete on termination. So in delete on termination, you can just go and select that if you have attached an EBS volume, you want the delete the data inside it or not. And similarly, you can change the settings for boot volume also, that you want the data to be deleted or not want to be data to be deleted. Both you can see. Okay.
Okay, perfect. But by default?
By default, they will, by default, EBS will be deleted and boot or non-boot volumes, they will not be deleted. They will remain. These are the default.
I don't know what that means, like boot volume.
Yeah, actually, this is a type of storage volume, like EBS only. They are also the boot and non-boot services.
Okay, but the EBS is deleted and the boot remains.
Yeah, the data inside the boot remains. Data, it's all about data.
What kind of data?
Data is inside. If you have connected an EC2 instance with EBS and boot data, means some of the data you are storing in EBS and some of the data you are storing in this. Okay. So here, if you are storing the data, as soon as you terminate the EC2 instance, EBS data will also be destroyed. But in case of this boot, if your EC2 is getting cancelled, but this data will be saved in the boot volume. They will not.
But is the same kind of data or of the EBS volume?
No.
It is another kind of data.
See what happens. This is one condition. EC2 is attached to EBS. And this is another condition, EC2 attached to boot or non-boot. Okay. So this data they will send to boot and this data they send to boot will be different. Getting it?
I see two EC2 instances.
Yeah, two different EC2 instances. In one case, EBS is attached. In one case, boot is attached. So as soon as I delete this EC2 instance, the data inside the EBS will also delete. But if I delete this EC2 instance, still the data inside the boot will remain.
Well, about if I have one EC2 instance?
So if you have one EC2 instance, if you are sending X, Y, and Z in EBS and same X, Y, Z, you are sending in boot. Okay, same data I'm talking about, not different data, right?
Okay.
And you have sent +1, +2, and something else you have sent. Here it is only XYZ. So if EC2 instance get destroyed, this data is destroyed. But this data will remain in the boot volume.
Which is the same data.
This XY is the same data, no? Plus the extra
that one.
we added will also remain.
Okay, because I just want to understand that if it is the same data.
So if it is, see, let me just clear it to you very much simple. Now both have same data, right? XYZ, XYZ. Okay, but as soon as the EC2 instance get cancelled, EBS will destroy the data, but same data which is they have set in boot will remain there. But it is in boot and it is not in EBS.
The boot is like the backup. It's like a backup.
Yes, it's like just similar as EBS. I'll explain you, okay, when we talk about storage types, there you will encounter with it. Okay, just consider it as another pen drive.
Got it. But that boot is come from the EBS.
No. This is different. This is different.
Something else. Okay.
Say this is your hard drive. Okay. And this is your pen drive. Don't say that hard drive comes from pen drive. No. This is different. This is different. Two are different devices. This you have taken from your Y friend. This you have taken from your Z friend. Completely different.
Okay. Got it.
Clean? Clear?
Yeah.
So now enable EC2 termination protection against accidental termination. Okay, so what does it says? That there is an option called known as EC2 termination protection. Okay, if you enable this option, Okay, if any accidental termination, like you don't want to terminate, but it is getting terminated, at that condition, it will protect you. It will ask you multiple questions, which you will have to answer. Only then they will terminate the EC2 instance. Okay, if you allow this, then you have a safety for safety ethers. Okay.
Okay.
You getting it?
Can you see the previous page? Just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Now we have to study about EC2 metadata. Okay, metadata is the attributes. Okay, try to understand it. You are a resource. Okay, your name, your address, your phone number, your mother name, father name, everything is your metadata. Okay, this is instance data that you can use to configure or manage the instance. Okay, for example, IP, IPv4 addresses, like which IPv4 address you want, which IPv6 address you want, DNS host name, which DNS host name you want, what AMI ID you want, what instance ID you want, what instance type you want, who will be your local host, name, public key, security group. Okay, then metadata is not protected by encryption. Anyone that has access to the instance can view it. Okay, so it is very much simple to understand that this is the instance data. Okay, that you can use to configure. Okay, that you can use to configure and manage the instance. Okay, IPv4 address, IPv6 address, DNS host name, AMI ID, instance type, instance host name, public keys, security groups. Okay, these all are the details that we give when we create an EC2 instance. Okay, metadata is not protected. Okay, if anybody who has the access to the instance can access your data. If I give you example that what kind to view, if you want, you can just go and check to view any of the instance you have created and you want to know the its metadata. Okay, just go to any instance and say get http 169.254.169.254/latest/metadata, and you will get your metadata of that particular instance. Clear?
Yep.
Now next is instance user data. See, only 4 minutes are left. It's like let me just check. Like half an hour will require. So we'll continue from tomorrow. Okay. Hopefully
Got it.
inform you that maybe we can have a 3-hour class. Okay.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. I'll inform you before, like I'll inform you by 5 o'clock, right? 2 hours before, so that you will be able to attend the class.
From what time to what time?
Similarly, 7 to 10. Like 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST.
Okay.
Hopefully we can have, I'll let you know by 5. Okay.
Got it. Let me know.
Yeah, sure. Okay, any doubt?
Okay. I'm gonna study and review the notes.
Yeah.
And if I have any questions,
If you have any of the doubts. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a great day.